Hi there, so today begins another Dark Souls sketch video where I draw like a concept design sketch of some creatures from Dark Souls. Now this time it's this one on here that I've got. It's Quelaag, the Chaos Witch. I'm not entirely sure if it's from the first Dark Souls because I don't really play them, but you can see that, you see me in the background. But it's got this like woman at the top, and then the rest is just this horrible looking spider creature. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a go at drawing this, maybe in a different sort of way to how it's done there. Maybe try and make up my own sort of way of drawing it. So let's get on with that. So I think the main challenge is going to be that woman at the front of this spider creature. Quelaag, I think, Chaos Witch. I think that's how you say it, but yeah, because I'm not very good at drawing women at the moment. Just need to practice a little bit, life drawing and all that. So the little change that I've made is that I think on the picture she's like holding like a sword type thing or a spike or something. Well, I've sort of just made that her arm, so I think just like just part of her arm, sketching things there. And I was sort of like pretty much decided that the composition that's in the concept sketch, I'll do something similar with the spider legs there and other little details and stuff like that. Yeah, drawing these creature things, it's sort of like expose what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. So that's a good thing, you know. Perspective is not something that I'm really good at the moment. I need to work on that a little bit more, and probably if I do that, then some of my drawings will be even better. Because like I worked out some of the legs wrong. You'll see towards the end, particularly on one side. I wish I would have done it a bit different, but it's a sketch. It's a concept sketch. You only do what you can really on these sketches. But I do like the design of it, so I probably will be redrawing this again from a different angle. I was going to do like a pre-sketch thing on this one, but I just decided to just like get straight into it, and instead of like wasting time just trying. I think that's the best way, you know, to tackle these drawings, is sometimes just like try and draw it, and then, you know, if you make mistakes along the way, then you learn by them, and then you can redraw at a later date. So it's nothing. What's the phrase? Nothing ventured, nothing gained, something like that. You just get on with it. Yeah, but like I think in these Dark Souls creatures, it's like a type of ash and lava in the creatures, you know, that sort of, I don't know if that brings them to life or something, or it's gives them life. I think because, you know, the main character like drinks from these flasks to like recover health and that, and it's like ash and lava or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, but this one's got a bit of fire in it, and I wanted to do a little bit of that, but I didn't really want to. I wanted to focus on the main textures of things, and just getting the overall sense that this is like a spider type creature with a woman at the head of it, or on the head, attached to it. So yeah, this is just the sketching stage, obviously. By the end of it, I definitely wasn't happy with the way it was, but it still is a good drawing, even though I messed up a bit on the legs later, but it's something just to learn by. It's always a good idea to just plan things, and but things don't work out, you just go for it really. You got nothing to lose by just attacking the drawing and just trying to work on some techniques and things like that, and inking and stuff. These drawings, they can take time, and this one took over an hour. But if I was like spending time on it to like make it a more professional looking drawing, I'd probably spend way more time. I'm using these Sharpie markers. They've got like twin tips. They've got I think they're thinner than normal Sharpie markers, and then on the other end I've got like a fine line. So I tried using them for a little bit. I think later I just reverted back to my trusty gel ink pen, because I'm more used to them pens a bit. But these are pretty good. I'll probably use these for a few things. I'm just trying to add like a bit of a thicker line under the legs. And really there should have been another leg just appearing, maybe from the woman's shoulder, maybe on the other side. But like I said, I should have planned this drawing a little bit more, but not to worry. It's a first concept sketch. I was still happy with the end result, so that's a win-win, and I learned a few things from it as well, so yeah. Just darkening the top of the teeth and the base of the teeth there. I think that's always important. I always do that. I'm just using the thin line of that now. It takes some getting used to, because you press a bit harder on it and it creates a thicker line, so just got to be careful with this Sharpie marker. But it's okay pen. Yeah, I think the woman on the top like just looked a bit stiff, and the face I wasn't really happy with when I draw it, but it's okay. These things you've got to sort of practice with, and I've been sort of caught up drawing zombies and all sorts, and I need to get back to basics and just figure out how to draw stuff. Yeah, and life drawing and characters and stuff, I really need to get back into the habit of drawing, particularly if I want to do my graphic novel, which I've been on about for years and seemingly not done any work on it the past few years anyway. I'll get there one day with that. Yeah, so I just like doing the outlines of these legs. I find doing all the outlines and inking everything, it just helps, obviously bring it a bit clearer, and then I can just fill in anything in between, with like other lines like we're doing here, like detail, and flesh it out later. So I don't know if you're liking these videos. I'm sort of keeping up with these videos. The next one will be probably another Dark Souls, but I've got a couple of videos that I need to just voice over that's on my computer. I did a time-lapse video, I think, of this, I think it was the death metal demon thing. Well, I've got the real-time drawing video of that, so I could probably do a voiceover of that, and then I can get it off my computer then, because it's taking up all my memory on my computer, so I need to just do that. So there's a few videos there, so we'll get them done. So I'm just drawing the eyes there. He had a lot of eyes on the concept reference that I showed you earlier. The spiky teeth. Sort of drawing it a little bit different than what it is in, you know, that reference drawing. Don't want it to be totally the same. Try and put my own little spin on it, even though it is like this similar composition. Yeah, can't wait to do them red eyes later. Get his red eyes. I always get lost in this process, inking. It's the best process of drawing for me. I've said this before. It's, you see your drawings come together a lot more, and then you can add like loads of shadow effects and, you know, like loads of details and stuff like that. Yeah, so the next time I'm gonna draw like some kind of undead knight or something with a bit of armor on it, or I'll figure it out. We'll see what we can draw from the Dark Souls. Try and just build up this series, do a good few of them, and then I might have a break from them and do something else. I think maybe draw a t-shirt design from scratch. I don't think I've done that properly, I don't know. Yeah, probably like working out ideas and stuff like that. So we'll see. Here's me trying to work out the face, which didn't look okay. It looks okay by the end, but not great. I tried to make the woman like Japanese, which sort of like worked at the end, because the designers and, well, the games actually are made by a Japanese company, so I just, and the concept reference looked Japanese anyway, so we can sort of tell like a certain Japanese feel to a lot of the designs and things like that. There's a really good Japanese influence in the games. So that's that like sword thing which I've just made part of her arm. It was easier, I'd say, just to do that instead of I don't know, drawing an intricate like handhold thing that it might have just messed up. So you can do that sometimes if you, to save time. So it's like the good old way of you know, like if you're drawing feet and that, but you just mask it off with smoke or something like that. You just like you're allowed to do that when you're drawing, just to save time. And if you know you're going to mess it up, then you might as well just do something different. I'm using like a thick chisel marker just for the hair. I want it to be totally black, and probably a couple of little white highlights on the top, even though I'm working off camera sometimes, which you can't see, but always adjusting the camera just to get a better angle at this. I think I need another tripod because mine's snapped, and I can only angle it a certain way, otherwise it'll flip backwards, so I need to get another one. I think that's when I used to work in the shed a little bit, when it was better weather. fell over. I think the bike fell on it. So yeah, I'll be doing more work in the shed when it gets a little bit warmer, spring. So we'll do some painted video concepts and stuff like that of what I'm working on. Film some cool stuff, I think, because I'm on a roll with these videos. Even though the last couple I'm not entirely happy with. I think the Dark Wraith one was it. I like the boss creature that I did. That was something that I could see in the game with a few design tweaks here and there. But yeah, and this one I liked, but I think I liked it more towards the end. I don't know what it is. I think it's the process of creating something and it's not quite right how it turns out, and certain elements you just notice when, particularly when you're drawing them, you just notice you've drawn them a bit off, and particularly like the legs on the other side where she's holding the sword, they needed to be angled a different way. But what can you do? It's a drawing. It's a concept sketch anyway. It's not like a final drawing. So adding like shadow, usually quick scribbles underneath certain areas just helps add a different depth to it, and then you can like just add like a lot of inclines later and stuff like that. I'd like to get some colour on this soon and sort that face out on that woman. It just looks but trust me, it does look a little bit better later, even though it's not perfect. I definitely need to work on doing some life drawing and things like that. But it's a good, it's sort of a good thing like that you push through. You know, if you at this stage when you do a drawing and it's not quite how you like it, it's best not to quit. It's best to try and see it through and, you know, finish the drawing, because you never know if you might turn things around or, you know, make the drawing better than you thought it would be at this stage. And I'm glad I did, because it turned out a little bit better towards the end. Once you add a bit of colour and extra details and flesh a few more things out, and it's way better than, you know, just leaving it as is and, you know, abandoning the drawing sort of thing. It's always good to see things through, you know, in anything in life really. You know, unless it's a job you hate, then just, you know, find another one. But yeah, so all these quick incline details that I'm doing, I'll be adding like shadow in between them and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, I think we'll be adding like Liquitex grey colours, and I'll add a little bit of brown I think in there, because I'm sure there's a bit of brown and more black. Watered that down I think when it comes to colours. There's a bit of fire there that I haven't inked and things like that. Here we are trying to like work out the face a little bit more. Minor improvement, not quite, but it's getting there. A few hair strands, that might help. I think it did in the end. Yeah. I think I've got the pale colour. It's the unbleached titanium that I'll use for the woman. Just want to water it down a little bit. It's almost looking like a Japanese geisha. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like a pale woman with her hair tied back and that. except they haven't got like the pink cheeks and everything, totally like pale face or things like that, and obviously no clothes because it'd look a bit ridiculous having like wearing a nice top or like Christmas jumper or something. Yeah, so I'm adding the grey, like watered down with water. I just want to give it like a mid-tone for now, and so I can see them inclines underneath as well. I'm just going over the eyes as well because it gives a nice sort of like a base colour over the top, and that way I don't have to be too precise, and you know, with the paint I can just slap it all on. So yeah, these paints are good. I'll definitely have to do a video going through them and like a review and paint demonstration, proper one, and just they really are good paints. So I'm still like learning about painting as well, trying to do like paint layers and colour washes and things like that. Because like if you do it like thinner like this, then you have more layers that you can add over the top, and not just paint. Once you've added all the paint, you can add like coloured pencil over the top and really add sort of like finer details and like just add extra layers to it and things like that. So I think mixed media is the way to go forward with most you know, these drawings, these concept art sketches and stuff. They just take time, you know. Obviously, I wish I'd done more of these last year, but with everything going on, like it just you'd think you'd have time, but like I think the way things are at the moment, it just like destroys your mental health, and you know, even I mean, it was not very good to start with, sort of thing. That's probably why I didn't do much videos, but yeah. So yeah, I think you find with these videos, like I just try and find different things to talk about instead, because I can just talk about the drawing. I'm just adding like the unbleached titanium watered down to the woman, trying to make her appear brighter and stuff like that, just to make her stand out. So yeah, just like talk about different things on here because I think it's important to just share my thoughts on things. Really, I think not a lot of people do that when they're doing these art videos. You know, I mean, I share my thoughts about the drawing itself, or just what I'm thinking about as well, which can be random stuff. So it's, you know, do them flames with that colour as well, just to make it bright, and I can come back later on and add a few fire colours here and there. But it's shaping up a nice little creature design. There's some bit of smoke in there, or smoky fire, I should say. I'll have to try and play some of these games and see some more characters and creatures. I'll just look them up online. I ain't really got time to play games at the moment. Got a lot of work on. But I just want to keep busy. do more of these drawing videos. But there are really good characters to draw from. It's like Skyrim, just really great, and designed characters, and the way like they're rendered nowadays on these games is just amazing. I mean, it's back when I was a kid, it was like Super Nintendo. You'd have like Mario, and you'd have like pixelated. Well, Super Nintendo was quite good actually. I think that was the NES, and the Sega and Mega Drive and stuff like that. But yeah, the games now, they're just insane. The level of detail and what they do. I mean, some of them now, like the screen capture, like a lot of the human characters and like the details and stuff, and movements of characters and that. It's just amazing. What they can do nowadays. But the designs of these Dark Souls creatures are just really out of this world. Like, I really like them. Especially if you're like a fan of that sort of thing as well. I remember seeing Japanese manga. Oops, botched that then, didn't I? Japanese manga film, which are not for like watching with your gran or anything. Legend of the Overfiend. There's a lot of like good demons designs in there, and a lot of other stuff in it. If you've seen it, yeah. But really, the Japanese sort of designs of things are just I just find really inspiring. Really, they have a different way of drawing things and coming up with things, and it's down to different culture and things as well, and like history and that fuses with these designs. But I really like it as well. So here I'm just adding like lots of ink details back with a gel ink pen. I prefer to use these, even though they're disposable. Really, once they run out, I just bin them. Even though I've saved a couple of the tube things, so I can maybe do some blow some ink or some shit, I don't know, on drawings. I don't know. I kept them for that purpose, really. So yeah, this is the bit where I just I can get lost. Like time just disappears. When I'm like inking like this. I mean, some of this will be like covered with more paint, but it doesn't matter. It still adds like an extra layer to it. And colour washes are the best thing you can do to a drawing, because they enhance it. I've still got a note down to do a video on colour washes, so we'll go through that at some point, because I find them really important for your drawings now. And I never used to think they would be important, but they are. If you're drawing any type of illustration work, always think about using colour washes to work out the tone and the shadow of like an illustration. And always think of your artwork as like working in layers anyway. Just think of it that way, because that's what it is basically. You're doing like the initial pencil sketch, which is working it out, and then you're inking it, adding shadows, tone, depth to it, and then details over the top, and then maybe you might decide to do a background if there's time or there's like space to do that, and then other details over the top. You might decide to do fine details, like highlights and things like that. So it all gets done in layers really. So if you think about that, then I think you'll get better at drawing, and because I never used to think like that. I just used to think like, you know, if your drawing don't look alright, then just start another one. But sometimes it is best to stick with it, as I always say. Just still darkening a lot of the legs underneath. But I've had a bit more time on this one. I think I just realised that the legs at the side wasn't right, so I just didn't carry on with it. But if I would have done, I would have done more highlights, particularly with the fire. I would have done a bit more like yellow highlights, you know, reflecting off the top of the legs and things like that. That's stuff you got to think about as well. You know, if there's certain lighting in the drawing, try and capture that. You know, think where would it reflect on certain areas of the drawing. Obviously, if there's some fire there on the back of the creature there, that'll reflect on a side of her arm there, some of the spider legs and the surrounding areas. So it's always best to think in terms of lighting as well on your illustrations. Even though it's a concept sketch, it's working out how you can place these drawings and add like lighting and environmental sort of factors to your drawing if you had time. It's all good. It's, you know, figuring these things out in a drawing. It's like you're a director of your own sketches and artwork. That's all I can describe it as. So I don't think on the concept sketch it had all like fleshy stuff when, you know, it was down on like a waist of the, you know, the woman, like. But I think I just added that anywhere and just start to ink a lot of that. I think we'll make a bit of that like pink later on, and just see how it works out. Sometimes adding way too much detail just really helps the drawing, to be honest. Even though there's like it seems like you're adding way too much, but there's never too much. Sometimes you can just, you know, if you ink a lot of lines here and there or a detail, you can always paint it out or something and paint over it if it's too much. But I think it's at this point that I see the drawing coming together a little bit more. There's a sort of a Japanese feel to it that I like. I think I'm going to have to get more of these gel ink pens from my local Woolco's. I just use them too much, I think, and you know, I think you get 5 in a pack, and I just use them up within a couple of days because I'm always inking drawings and things like that. I've just inked a couple of t-shirt designs, which I've took the background out of. So you'll probably see them in the weekly vlog, the new ones that I've done. But yeah, I just use ink pens. I've got a new pack of ink pens that I got for my birthday a couple of months ago. It's them uni pin ones, and there's like a 12 pack, I think. I haven't even opened it yet. just been using these cheap gel ink pens because I use them way too much, and well, you don't want to like hoard art materials, even though I do hoard art materials sometimes. I've got a couple of boxes under my bed with loads of art materials that I haven't even opened or used, because some of them are like my best materials. I think, I don't think I'll use them yet. I might use them in a video or something, but never get around to them. So I'm gonna have to use them really, because they're there to be, drawn with and stuff. And I can always get some more at another time. But I don't know if we always hoard art materials. I know I do. But these ink pens are the best. These gel ink ones. Just use them a lot. Add in detail. I think I did. Yeah, I did. I did a video a while back, a good few years ago, drawing like some kind of spider. I think it was nearly 2 hours long or something, and I did like similar textures and stuff under the legs and that. But I did it was like a texture technique. I think you might have to check it out. I'll try and put it in the description of the video. I'll just write a little note just to remember to do that, because I don't know if you've seen other videos where they say, oh, I'll put it in the description, and then they're putting out in it. There's no video that they've directed you to. So I'll just write a note on that. And I'll just put that there. Or I could link to it in a, like a thing on the screen at the end as well if you want. But that was one of my bestest videos back then. I mean, I don't draw that way now particularly. I do a little bit, but I think my drawings have improved sort of a little bit more. But it was a good spider creature I drew. I drew all the background and everything. It's in like some kind of cave, and had like webs on it, and I think, if I'm remembering the same thing. Yeah, so I'll link to that in there, and you can see that other spider creature. That was, I like drawing that and colouring that. It was pretty good. I think I did just like Copic marker colouring with that, and made like a green-eyed grey spider creature. If you've been on this channel for quite a while, been a subscriber, you might have seen it already, but I just thought I'll link to that anyway. So yeah, I'm still inking a lot of these details. Some of these details will be like covered with more paint anyway, so but it still adds way more to the creature anyway. I wonder what this drawing would look like if I redrew it but tried to add decent perspective in it, like where the creature's coming towards you, like, and it looks like it's about to pounce at you, like, and then she's like holding a sword up in the air or something like that. Yeah, I could like redraw that. I have the option to redraw that and add like perspective. I just need to work out perspective in drawings, and then I think once you master that in your artwork, that's it, you're well away with your artwork. Just adds a really good dynamic sort of feel to your drawings. I mean, like, even drawing them this way, like, it looks okay, but it looks sort of flat to me, so maybe try and figure out how to work out perspective in your artwork. Maybe once I've figured it out, I could do a video on it. I think that's what I do really, just once I figure out stuff or think about stuff, I'll do a video on it. So we're still working out a lot of the shadow area of the drawing, and I'm just trying to, I know that the back end of this spider will be like black, but I'll paint all that in and just try and work out that a little bit further, because I've still got time yet. I'm going to be doing, like I said, some Skyrim stuff, and because there was some skeletons and like undead stuff in there that I quite like, and a few creatures that I quite like drawing and things like that. So there'll be, you know, stuff like that as well. Try and mix it up a little bit more and just draw different stuff, but I want to try and draw stuff that's going to challenge me a bit more. So because there is stuff that I need to figure out to draw still. I think I've got skulls, demons, zombies, got them down to a T. You know, but I need to expand my range sort of thing and learn to draw other stuff as well. So because I think it'll be good for my artwork if I try and, you know, because we're all learning still, you know, even like these professional artists out there, they're probably still learning as well. Like there might be stuff that they hate to draw, and you know, they might want to practice a bit more on the stuff they need to like draw as well. So it's, you know, life is the art journey, or art is the life journey, something like that. I don't know, I just made that up in my head. I love drawing all these little details. It just reminds me of seeing an ink drawing in like comic books or something, you know, like I don't know, I just love it. So I'm adding like a brown acrylic, it's a Ben Umber Liquitex, mixing it with a bit of black, Mars black, and just watered and thinned down with water, because I need that back area just to be like darker, especially underneath as well, and just maybe blend it in with that brown. Maybe use a little bit of brown here and there, but I don't want brown to be much of a feature colour. Maybe a colour wash over the some of the rest of the creature, like maybe the head and things like that. I find using water, obviously the best thing to thin, and you know, thin the paint down so it'll cover a bit more, because if you can do like the colour a bit thinner, it'll like it'll spread more on the paper, and obviously you've got areas in it where you can just go back once it dries and add like shadow, but I didn't really have much time for that. I just tried to add what I could. So I'm adding like more darker grey and with a mixture of like the brown as well. try and, you know, create a nice fleshy type tone. You've got to spread that out. Nice brown tone, that like colour wash. Not concerned about going over the eyes because they're going to be like red anyway, so we'll be doing that. And so together with inking and adding the colour, they're the best type of stages. You know, you see your drawing come together a lot more. And you know, even though I messed up the legs, like I keep mentioning, I mean the legs on one side look fine. It's just on the other side, I wish I'd worked out the leg placement a little bit better. But I could redraw it and do that, or I could like draw the legs over it again. I don't know. I could block them off. You know, so you can still save a drawing even though it's not how you wanted. But yeah, the colouring stage is good because you can add, obviously these colour washes add like a depth to it as well, that you can layer up like coloured pencils if you had more time than me. Just add like lots of detail. I like to do like an oil painting or something. I've got some oil paints for my birthday. I've got some big Georgian oil paints. I'll be using them in a video at some point because I'd like to get into more like painting and things like that. So I see other artists working on stuff in oil paints, like off the top of my head, Zach Dunn. He's a real good artist on Instagram, and he's on Facebook as well, but mainly Instagram is where I saw him. Like, he does really good blended artwork, like horror heads and like crows and things and wolves I've seen. Just amazing, like oil paints. I'd like to get to that standard of creating like artwork that I create like as well, but like not like copy off him. I just like to, I don't know, create similar work but like my own feel of artwork, and you know, like blended oil paints and other details and that. It just looks like amazing, you know. Especially if I was creating like concepts like this, I'd probably do everything in oils. But I don't know, you can work in mixed media nowadays and do a bit in oils, maybe like the backgrounds in oils, or the actual creature in oils and then the background acrylics, or I don't know, you can do anything these days. It's, you know, the more mixed media, the more different effects you can try and create in your drawings. So adding them shadows really help the illustration pop a lot more. A lot of darker areas just to try and offset some other areas. Always use your finger if it goes over certain areas you don't want, just smear it off. I think on the concept reference, like the like ass of the creature is like hairy, so I tried incorporating a little bit of that into it, but I didn't want to draw too many hairs and stuff, and I don't know, I just wanted the overall creature to look a bit disgusting. like textures and stuff like that. And I think the composition of the reference picture just like helped me a bit more. But if, like I said, I do learn perspective and that, you can come up with your own compositions that are, more dynamic and that. So, I'll probably be able to create some miles better drawings. Like just, yeah, I think they would look a lot better if I figured out perspective. I'm going to figure it out. I've got a book on it as well, but it seems a bit complicated, the perspective. I'm going to go through it anyway. I'm trying to try and pick it up and all that. Yeah, but I'm liking these textures. I think it's at this stage that I really liked it. It's just that the Sharpie marker, it looks a bit grey when compared to other stuff, so I tried to go over a lot of that. I think like Sharpie markers, like in time, they just like fade anyway. They're only good for a few years probably or something, and then they start to fade or change colour sometimes. And that's why you always like paint over them. It's not archival quality ink with Sharpie markers. But a lot of my work, it'll get scanned in eventually, or I'll try and finish this maybe. I don't know. Add more to it. You can see me adding a background to these at some point, but I'll more than likely probably like redraw this. Adding lots of shadow. I'll paint them eyes soon. Just working out the details of the shadow. There we go, painting the red eyes, yay. I'll paint them all red and then I'll add like a white highlight layer just to show like a reflection. I think the red eyes are sort of cool. They had a nice like horror creature feel to it. I don't know if they would have been green, that might be a good colour, but red I think is always a good colour for eyes. So I quite like, I'm trying to remember what I saw. I think it was a Lord of the Rings painting, and it was like the Shelob spider. I'm sure that, I don't know if that had red eyes, unless I'm just dreaming it. Unless it had green eyes, I'm not sure. But I just remember like this spider creature having loads of eyes, and then the way it was painted, I can't remember the artist, but that's what I always remember about, if I'm drawing these spider creatures and I draw a lot of eyes like this, it just always, I always think about that, and maybe like painting it that way, especially with the reflections in the eyes. So I'll probably use a bit of that red to do the fire bits. top, and maybe add a bit of yellow as well, just to, I mean, if I had more time I'd use like pencil crayon and over the top, but we just want to sort of like do a suggestion of fire. Always do like red at the base of the fire, and then the rest there'll be some yellow. It's an easy way to do fire, especially like watered down paint. I think there was some like drips coming off the oh, there was that bit there that I forgot about. Yeah, that was a bit of fire coming out of the mouth. There's some kind of lava or something dripping out of the creature. I just wanted to do a suggestion of that as well. Add a bit of pink on the sword, and maybe a bit of pink where the woman joins up to the spider's head. Do it like if you can see that there. I think you can. Like pink, like it's all fleshy texture. Yeah, just a bit of darker red in there, watered down. Again, like if you had more time, like you could add loads of layers of pencil crayon and other stuff right at the end, and add way more tone and shadow to everything. So I'm just adding highlights here on top. Maybe smear it out a little bit with your finger, but keep some in there because they'll dry lighter. Always remember that they will dry lighter anyway. So using that unbleached titanium watered down again. It looks like white, but it's not. It's the same colour I used for the woman, the Chaos Witch. Quelaag. That's if how you pronounce it, I don't know. Or maybe like Quelaag's the spider and Chaos Witch is there, I don't know. Not sure. I don't know if it's from the first game, I just don't know. Like I said, I don't play the games. My son's got like the second and third one. I don't know if he's got the first one, and I just like to watch him, play the game really, and then I see all the characters and creatures and that, and just looks really good to draw from. Cool stuff. I'm not very good at them type of games. I suppose I could learn, but yeah. They're just trying to do highlights on all of the top of the legs and that. Alright. Windy pops. Yeah. Like I said, I'll add some like yellow to the flames just to thin it out a little bit. So been a good drawing so far. It's yeah, I suppose I'm more happy with this one than that Dark Wraith one that I did a while back. Just like seeing a drawing come together, and you know you're working on it a bit more, and then you see the areas that you liked drawing, and the areas that you had a little bit of trouble drawing, but you still like push through and try to work on it a bit more. Those are the type of drawings that I remember more. I had to restart the recording because it ran out of time. I think I didn't know there was a time limit on these, but now I know. So yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I'm just adding like the yellow. Like I said, if I had more time, I could just go in with some coloured pencils and really make that fire pop, but it looks good enough. It's a concept sketch after all. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to try and create a video where I just spend loads of time on it. I know it'll take me a while, it'll be a really long video, but yeah, I think I'll have to try and do one of them. I'm trying to add like some yellow colouring just around the fire just to show it's like reflecting, but I should have done a bit more of that, like on the legs and stuff like that, but maybe for another time. Just using some of that red that was still left just to show there's a bit of like lava or something dripping out. A bit more on there. We'll go over that with a bit of yellow as well. Bit of yellow just over the top. Like I said, I could have made a bit more of that, but just a suggestion of the lava type colour. So we go adding like little white circles to these eyes. It really adds like a dimension to it, like a reflective looking eye, so it's always good to do that thing right at the end. Even though I miss an eye, I always look to see if I haven't missed an eye, but I miss an eye and then I come back to it later. So go over the teeth as well just to make them a bit more whiter. That's why adding the grey over the top a bit useful sometimes. Then you can like make certain areas just appear more whiter when you use a white pen. I think sort that hand out a little bit better. The other thing, that hand sort of it looked okay, but it just didn't look right either, so maybe I should have planned out that a little bit better, but oh well, it's done now. Do more drips. Gotta do more drips because it's like a big creature. It's like dripping loads of, I don't know, evil. Dripping loads of evil or something. And work on adding a few hair textures on the arse end of the creature. I think I do that a lot lately, just add like loads of like ink lines, like when the drawing's nearly finished. Then you're allowed to do that. It's like I said before, adding loads of layers. You just layer up right at the end, create textures, stuff like that really, so yeah. So I think all that I really do after this bit is just use a warm grey coloured pencil just to do a bit more highlights throughout the body and some of the legs. And more drips. Gotta do loads of drips. Try and fit them all in. Try working on that mouth a bit more. It's gotta draw the nipple. Just like a bit of shadow, like lines and details here and there. And sometimes it's worth going back over certain things just to try and improve things a little bit. So I thought I'd give her white eyes. Just helps add something to it. Now I'm using that coloured pencil just to add some extra highlights, just to make certain areas just stand out. Probably around the eyes. Oh, there's that reflection I missed on one eye. I always do that. I always miss that one eye. And so just going over like top of like the reflections and things like that. It just adds a nice effect over the top really. Like I said, if you have time you can probably make a better job of this. Add like lots of different layers of highlights, and really spend a lot more time on it than I have. So adding these highlights, it just brings out a lot of the sort of textures a little bit more. Anyway, I'm going to leave this there. You just see the last few moments of this video, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my other playlists and stuff that I'll be linking at the end, because there's lots more to watch. So I think I'm going to leave that one there. The more I look at it, the more I've I haven't done the other side of the legs correct, so I didn't want to carry on, but I definitely want to redraw this one again, because I think maybe these legs that are on that side, I should have done like some down there, or maybe this back leg that's there should have been a leg up there, and maybe that one is that one, I don't know, and it should have been a bit more angled. Right, I just haven't worked out the perspective a bit, you know, but still it's been fun. I realise I need to learn to draw women a bit better, because that's just like not very good. That's the weakest part, but the creature design I quite enjoyed, just adding different, you know, sort of elements and shadows and stuff. I could have carried on with it, but the legs on that side just bugged me. So yeah, I definitely will be redrawing this at some point, but it's still been a fun concept sketch exercise, so I still hope you like this video. Yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers now. Don't forget to check out my other playlists and videos.